everybody. Thank you for tuning in to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. My name is Samantha Genzer, and I'm going to be your host for you guys today. We have a very exciting episode for you guys. We're going to be covering if there should be a last chance qualifier for the CrossFit Games, the results, and a recap of the New York City Grand Prix, the top swimmers going into the Olympic Trials, the standout players from the Women's College World Series, and make sure you stay till the end to hear about a little special segment we have on the top fashion statements from the WNBA players. Before we begin, I wanted to ask you guys to like and follow the show, and to become a part of our show, you can tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. We also get a lot of questions and comments that come from viewers during this show, so to ensure that your comments and questions get read on the air, I ask that you use this link. It puts your questions at the top of the list so that I see them. Also, really does help the show. We really do appreciate it. It helps me as a person, helps the show, and we appreciate all your guys' support. Again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Now, let's get started. I hope you guys enjoy today's content. Okay, so we're going to be starting today's show about talking about the CrossFit Games, and I was going to lay out my predictions for the games in today's show, but to be honest, I could not confidently make predictions. I was struggling with deciding between so many people that I need more time to work on my predictions before I come on here and talk about them. The only one I have is like the top first person, and I think you can all guess. I'm not going to say it right now because I don't want to spoil that, but just stay tuned to hear about my predictions later when I confidently have them. Okay, so instead, I wanted to talk about something else in the world of CrossFit that's been quite a bit of a debate, and that's if there should be a last chance qualifier. A last chance qualifier is someone who narrowly missed a qualifying spot in the semifinals in their region, so they still get one more chance to make it to the games. It's an online competition, and it's reserved for individual athletes within 3 spots of a games qualifying position at their semifinal event. So based on the region, the athletes eligible to compete at the last chance qualifier are, in North America, it's the 6th to 8th place. In Europe, it's also 6th to 8th place. In Oceania, it's 4th to 6th place. In Asia, it's 3rd to 5th place. In South America, it's also 3rd to 5th place. And in Africa, it's 2nd to 4th place. From June 29th to July 1st, at least that is what is the possible dates. It has not been made clear if there is going to actually be a last chance qualifier, but if there was, that would be probably the dates it'd be held on, because that's how it was in the past. It will be 30 men and 30 women will compete in a series of workouts throughout the weekend, much like the online quarterfinals format. All semifinals rankings will reset, and athletes will start with the same rank. At the close of competition, the top 2 men and top 2 women will receive a ticket to the CrossFit Games in August. And it's sort of in some way sort of like precursor to how a CrossFit Games would be. I mean, obviously that's not online, and it's obviously a little bit different than CrossFit Games. But in some way, it sort of is like a precursor with how you see everyone from so many regions competing. It's not just region by region competing. But there's a whole debate about if the CrossFit Games should bring back this last chance qualifier competition. And actually a lot of CrossFit critics, I just like totally choked on my own spit. I'm so sorry. And actually what I was saying was a lot of CrossFit fans, critics, enthusiasts don't like the whole last chance qualifier thing, because they feel like if you didn't make it the first time, you shouldn't get another chance to make it to the games. I actually love it. I love the idea because it's more CrossFit for us to watch, and also think about the competitors who placed 1 spot away from the qualifying position. Like, that sucks. And I feel like they should get another chance. They should be at the games, even though they didn't technically make it. There will already be 40 people competing in the games, the women's individual, but to see more competition will be great, in my opinion. Also, this whole last chance qualifier thing helps people stay interested in the competition, because there are things happening between the semifinals and the games. There aren't any other competitions taking place right now for CrossFit, because these competitors are training, resting, and preparing for the games that are in August. So we have that month break where there just really isn't any competition happening. In order to keep people interested, the last chance qualifiers is a great way to do that. It also kind of brings out more of the underdogs, even though these technically aren't really underdogs, because they were, I guess in some ways, supposed to qualify for the games if they're at the last chance qualifiers. But in a way, they are the underdogs because they couldn't make it to the games in the first place. Also, with the last chance qualifier, it actually helps get the best people and best competition at the games. And that sounds weird considering it's like, well, you didn't make it the first time, you made it the second time, how are you the best competition? There's a lot of factors that go into CrossFit. You have to consider all those factors. And actually in 2021, Christy Aramo-Connell qualified through the last chance qualifier that year, and then she ended up finishing in 8th at the CrossFit Games overall. Sometimes the best athletes end up in the last chance qualifier because they had a bad weekend, not enough sleep, or other external or internal factors challenging them. Also, with the CrossFit competitions, and we see this a lot in the opens and in the quarterfinals, it is so dang easy to get a penalty or be disqualified in an event. You need a perfect form combined with speed and strength, but at the same time, you have to worry if you're risking getting disqualified in any way. For instance, for something that seems as simple as box step overs, you may not have your toes perfectly in position and you make it so it looks like you didn't actually step on the box or something. I don't know. I can't think of like a great example, but the box step overs are one of those workouts that make me so frustrated because it is so easy to get disqualified in them. Oh my gosh, what are they called? Step ups, where you just step up and then you step down, because you could technically not have your full weight over you, where you technically aren't all on the box. You know what I'm saying? It's super hard to explain, like words wise, but basically it's very easy to get disqualified or a penalty in that type of workout. My point, though, overall, is that being disqualified or having a penalty in an event can really drop your score. And we have seen that numerous times in the semis and opens, and it happens to all the athletes, including the best of the athletes. Moreover, with this last chance qualifier, it brings more diversity to the games, or at least brings more of an opportunity to have more diversity at the games. For the Africa region, and only one person qualifies to the games. And by having this last chance qualifier competition, we can see possibly more people from Africa into the games. We always get one person from the region because of how the population system works and how that all is. And it'd be great to see more people from that region at the games. Like, there's a reason that it's done like this, because like, population, I can't even like explain it. It's like so hard to explain why it's done this way, but like if you take like how many people in the North America East region are competing in the quarterfinals and the opens, and then you compare with the Africa region, you're like, whoa, the North America East got a lot more people. No wonder why more people from North America East qualified to the games. Like, that's just how it works, like ratio wise, population size, all of that. It makes sense that there's only one person qualifying to the games in Africa. But, I mean, it would be awesome to see another person have an opportunity from Africa to go to the games, and not just one person, you know? So, I guess overall my point here is that I would love to see more than one person from Africa compete at the games this year, and the last chance qualifier could make that opportunity possible. Or even we get more opportunities to see people from the Africa region compete in the last chance qualifier. I will say, though, that I'm not a fan that this competition is held online. I just hate that because the in-person competitions brings a whole different atmosphere, and you can really actually truly judge people in person rather than from a video. There's so many factors that go into it, like the angles, like there's so many like technical issues are always something to worry about. So, I mean, I would prefer it to be a in-person competition, and in-person competitions are just hands down better, in my opinion. But this competition is online, and that's just the way it has to be done, unfortunately. Now, I wanted to bring y'all's attention to some people that I was shocked that did not qualify to the games, and my hopes for them in the last chance qualifier. And this is sort of where my motivation and likeness for the last chance qualifier comes from, is the fact that these people did not qualify for the games. Because, like, I'm like, they should be going to the games, but they're not. So, like, that's kind of where that drive comes from here. So, in the North America East region, Amanda Barnhart, Anika Greer, and Jordan Scheck Shrek, I literally cannot figure out how to say her last name, and I apologize so much. They did not place in the top 11, which means they did not qualify for the games. Greer placed 12th, Sheck placed 13th, and Barnhart placed 14th. All three of them, I was shocked did not automatically qualify to the games, and I would love to see them have a second opportunity in the last chance qualifiers. Amanda Barnhart especially is shocking me because she's been at the games every year since 2018. 3 bad event placements put her 13 points away from qualifying to the games this time around, and that really, really stinks. For the North America West Division, I was shocked to see that Olivia Kerstetter will not be at the games. She finished 9th and the cut line is 8, so that is so hurtfully close. Kerstetter has been to the games once as an individual athlete. She made her debut last year, which was the first time she ventured outside the team competition. So it's shocking she didn't get through, but it's mainly because of the tough cut line. I'm hoping that she gets to, redeem herself if there happens to be a last chance qualifier, but if not, I'm hoping she continues to compete next year because she's only 18 years old and has that young energy and skills that could help her get to the games the following year. In the Europe division, I was shocked to not see Thuridur Helgadot here. She's considered one of the best CrossFit athletes in Europe, and she finished in 16th at the semis. She did great in the opens and quarterfinals, and I don't know what happened in the semis that caused her to place in 16th place. I definitely thought she would have been at least in the top 8. She has been to the game 7 times as an individual athlete and once in a team. And when I say I don't know what happened to put her at 16th place, I mean that I don't know if there was something mentally, an external factor, something. Like, it just doesn't make sense because she did so well in opens and in the quarterfinals, and I would have expected her to be in this really good in the semis. Honestly, for the Africa and Asia division, there isn't anyone that I was truly shocked didn't make it to the games because the competition in that region is so tough and there just isn't one person that's super ahead of everybody else. But I would have liked to see Christina Lividatakis and Gamari Renecki from the Africa division at the games. For the South America division, I was really upset that Emily Andrade and Amanda Fusuma didn't qualify for the games. I talked about this in my other video the other day. I'm so upset about it. Andrade placed 4th and Fusuma placed 6th. What makes it worse is that they both placed first in an event, so they were showing that they had the skills, talent, and strength to be at the games, but they were just a few points behind in some categories, causing them to not finish in the top 3. If the last chance qualifiers happen this year, I definitely think those two are going to be fierce competition and hopefully get another chance to go to the games. Lastly, for the Oceania region, there aren't too many people that I was super shocked to not see qualify. The one person that I was a bit shocked to not see qualify for the games was Emily Clements because I just had a lot of confidence that she would have. She had a great reputation and stats going in, and I don't know. She was very close to finishing the top 8, but she ended up finishing in 15th place. I don't know. I really thought I don't even know how to explain it, but there's just like that feeling that I had that she was going to be in like the top 10 or something, but she ended up in 15th place. Even if the last chance qualifiers do happen, Clements wouldn't be competing in that because of her placement, unfortunately, but still, I did want to say and bring attention that I was shocked to see that she wasn't even in the top 10. So, that goes to show you that CrossFit Games, there are so many little factors that go to influence the games and how you do in each event. Also, the workouts, when they release, maybe you're like, oh, shoot, like, those aren't my strongest workouts, I don't know. There's so many factors that go into it. So, last chance qualifiers would be a great opportunity to see some of these people who should be at the games get another chance to maybe qualify for the games. So, we're now going to move on to our next segment where we're going to recap the New York City Grand Prix. Before we begin, we are, of course, going to be taking a very short break. So, I will see you guys very soon.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.
I wanna be the greatest. Everybody on the fake shit. I look around and feel like everybody is the fakest. I make this every day and I'm impatient, hoping one day I blow up from the basement. Statement, the top is so vacant. I don't hear shit that I think is amazing. Waiting for my day when I'm playing sold out shows for 1,000 faces. Hey, give me that crown, get in my way and to be put down. It ain't your place, all this my town. If I want that shit, then I'll get it right now. I'm losing it, the noose it fits. I'm losing shit, a stupid myth. You choose to live or choose to dip. You choose to fight or lose your grip and lose a gift.
feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign. I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind?
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about it. There should be a last chance qualifier competition for the CrossFit Games, and we're now going to talk about the U.S.A New York City Grand Prix that happened during this weekend at Incheon Stadium on Randall's Island. Spectators had the opportunity to see performances from the absolute world best on U.S. soil. Noah Lyles, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, and Elaine Thompson-Herah were just oh my gosh, I just spit everywhere. Guys, I'm so sorry. That was so gross. Okay, moving on. They were just some of the few of the headliners scheduled to race. The meet took place soon after the premiere of the upcoming Netflix documentary Sprint, which will feature Noah Lyles and Sha'Carri Richardson, among other world and Olympic champions. New York City was the place to be this weekend as a track and field fan. I was very sad I could not be there, but that's okay. Still could see some things online, of course. Okay, so before we begin, though, I did want to remind you guys to like and subscribe to the show and to become a part of our show to tip and donate using the link gsmcpodcast.net. Also, we do get a number of questions and comments that come from viewers during the show. So to ensure that your comments and questions get read on the air and answered, I ask that you use the link gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your questions and comments at the top of the list so that I see them. Also, it really does help the show. Once again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, let's get started talking about how these races went. So we're going to start with, obviously, the sprinting event. So the women's 100-meter dash was filled to the brim with world-class talent. The race included the world champion Olympian Gabby Thomas and a 60-meter American record holder Elijah Hobbs, 4x100-meter relay Olympic champion Morolake Akinosan, and most notably the 5-time Olympic champion Elaine Thompson-Herah. The race had blistering starts from Hobbs, Akinosan, and Philly. Hobbs shifted into her eye-catching top-end speed, but this time it wasn't enough to hold off the former NCAA champion Philly. This pair of former LSU Tigers demonstrated they are ready to compete against anyone as the season revs up. Although Thompson-Herah began her season later than usual, many fans had faith that she would round into form in time for the Jamaican Olympic Trials. Unfortunately, during the race, though, Thompson-Herah sustained a lower leg injury. After crossing the line, she was carried off the track for further evaluation. There was no current word on how severe the injury may be, but Jamaican track fans are rallying together to support her speedy recovery. Thompson-Herah is an Olympic veteran and has redefined success on that level. She is the defending Olympic champion in the 100-meter and 200-meter dash and has been since the 2016 Games in Rio. If Thompson-Herah can heal quickly, she will be on track to defend her titles in 3 Olympic Games in a row. Gabby Thomas was another 200-meter athlete who looked informed before the trials. At the start of the race, Olympic silver medalist Jenna Prandini got out well and was on track to control the field. As they approached the bend, Thomas pressed past the competition and won the event, which is not a shocker because she's Gabby Thomas. She is definitely probably one of my favorite track and field athletes. I have so many, so she's on there. She's definitely on the top 5. Okay, the times and places for the 100-meter dash. Let's talk about them. Okay, so first was for Philly at 11.18 seconds, and second was Akinosan at 11.20 seconds, and third was Hobbs at 11.21 seconds, and in fourth was Thomas at 11.34 seconds, and fifth was Mikia Briscoe at 11.34 seconds. It had to be down to what is it called? Oh my goodness, I'm so bad at okay, so it goes millisecond. It had to go, okay, well, the number that is smaller than the millisecond is how they had to get down, how fourth and fifth was in place. I also just realized that I said that I just switched them. Briscoe was in fourth and Thomas was in fifth. Sorry, guys. I just flipped them on accident. My bad. But yeah, they had to get down to the little small numbers because they were literally that close. Sprinting can be very difficult because you have to be so precise with it sometimes. It's crazy. For the 200-meter dash, Gabby Thomas was in first at 22.42 seconds, and second was Tamara Clark at 22.79 seconds, and third was Jenna Prandini at 22.96 seconds, and fourth was Lena Irby Jackson at 22.09 seconds, and in fifth was Candace Hill at 23.12 seconds. For the 400-meter event, this is where history was made. Y'all need to listen closely to this because this is insane. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone ran the third fastest 400-meter in American history at 48.75 seconds, which is 5/100ths off Sonia Richards-Ross' American record from 2006. McLaughlin-Levrone also ran 48.74 seconds last July. After that race, she said she hoped to break the American record. I think if the win wasn't so tough and harsh, she would have had a better chance and had more of a chance to break the American record. Though she is the world's fastest woman in this Olympic cycle in the 400 meter, she has repeated over the last month that she plans to race strictly the 400 meter hurdles at the Olympic Trials, which are in June 21st to the 30th in Oregon. McLaughlin-Levrone is the reigning Olympic gold medalist and record holder in the 400 meter hurdles and has never raced the flat 400 meter at a global championship. This, I don't know, it makes me so upset because I'm like, this event just shows you that you should be running it at the trials. Like, please run it at the trials for all of us. Do it for us. So, it's tough. Nikisha Price, she set the world lead at 48.89 seconds at the NCAA Track and Field Championship in Oregon, which was talked about in the yesterday's show. I just wanted to bring that to attention as well. In second was Talitha Diggs, the 2022 USA TF champion, who finished in a season best and second best of 50.91 seconds. Stacey Ann Williams was in third at 50.94 seconds, representing Jamaica, and then in fourth was Kendall Ellis at 51.08 seconds, followed by Aaliyah Abrams finishing at 51.77 seconds, and she's representing Guyana. So McLaughlin-Levrone said she only plans on competing in the 400 meter hurdles at the Olympic Trials. However, her speech shows she can be an Olympic contender in multiple events. At the LA Grand Prix several weeks ago, McLaughlin-Levrone set a personal best in the 200-meter dash at 22.07 seconds. Not only did she win, but she also beat Gabby Thomas and Abby Steiner, women who are strong contenders for medaling at the Olympics in the event. And we saw that Gabby Thomas won first in this event at this competition this weekend. So clearly, Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone, please consider racing in other events at the trials. I would greatly appreciate that. Thank you. I will be cheering on for you. I promise. Okay, in the 800 meter event, Sage Herta-Klecker finished in first at 2 minutes and 0.33 seconds. In seconds was Olivia Baker at 2 minutes and 0.73 seconds. And in third was Sammy Watson at 2 minutes and 91 seconds. In fourth place was Aurora Rinda, representing Canada at 2 minutes and 2.80 seconds. And in fifth place was Brenna Dietra at 2 minutes and 2.84 seconds. Before moving on to the field events, I wanted to talk about the 100 meter hurdles because I love talking about hurdle events, and this one was super interesting. Devin Charlton finished in first at 12.56 seconds, representing the Bahamas. And second was Alicia Johnson at 12.58 seconds. So literally right there with first place. And third was Toby Amundsen from Nigeria at 12.66 seconds. And in fourth was Daniel Williams from Jamaica at 12.71 seconds, followed by Masai Russell at 12.73 seconds. Now let's talk about the field events. Starting with the women's javelin, Carrie Winger made a triumphant return to the runway as a, quote, unretirement with a big 63.22 meters in round two to win over current U.S. leader Maggie Malone Harden, who took second at 59.93 meters. Madison Wiltshire speared a season best 59.67 meters in third, with Ariana Ings fourth at 58.67 meters, also a season best. Finally, in fifth was Maddie Harris at 56.36 meters. For the high jump, 14-time U.S. champion Vass T. Cunningham was a dominant presence, sailing over 1.95 meters on her first attempt to win. And second was Nagisa Tahashi from Japan at 1.87 meters. And third was a tie between Kimberly Williamson from Jamaica and Zaria Willis at 1.84 meters. And in fourth was Mercedes Francis at 1.79 meters. In the hammer throw, Rachel Tansos earned another victory with a 73.55 meters on her third throw to win over 2023 World Championships team member Jillian Shippey, who was second at 71.08 meters. This was hot off of Tanzo's personal best last weekend at the Ironwood Classic in Idaho, and there was a net Icho Kunwoke at 70.54 meters. Fourth was Vanessa Sturkenstries from Belgium at 67.42 meters, and fifth was Said Olatoya from Nigeria at 63.33 meters. Let's now talk about the shot put. Canada's Sarah Midden, the reigning World Indoor Championship gold medalist, had 5 throws good enough to win the women's shot put, powering a 20.15 on her second attempt and adding a 20.07 in the final stanza. Raven Saunders hit 19.11 to finish as the runner-up, and new mom Jessica Ramsey was third, garnering a season-best 18.83. Fourth was Jessica Woodard at 18.39 meters, and fifth was Adelaide Akia at 18.33 meters. For the long jump, Tara Davis-Woodall sailed out to 7.14 meters in round 3 of the women's event to turn back Budapest World Championship teammates Jasmine Moore and Kenesha Burks. Moore ended up second with a best of 6.88 meters, and Burks had a season best 6.86 meters in third. And fourth was Tiffany Yu from Hong Kong at 6.32 meters, followed by Tisana Hickling representing Jamaica at 6.20 meters. Lastly, for the discus, world-leading Yamei Perez of Cuba won the women's discus with the best of 68.31 meters. Sisi Onyekwer of Nigeria was in second with 61.35 meters, so clearly there was a huge gap between the first and second place competitors. In third place was Jade Lally from Great Britain at 59.30 meters, and fourth was Michaela Hazelwood at 58.55 meters, and fifth was Lisa Pedersen from Denmark with 57.75 meters. Now we're going to move on to the next segment where we're going to talk about the top female swimmers for the upcoming Olympic swimming trials. Before we get into that, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys very soon.
Looking for your daily fix of sports talk without having to pay for it? GSMC Sports Network is available on YouTube. Just search GSMC Sports Network. Get your fix of daily sports talk shows on YouTube, absolutely free. NFL, college football, NBA, MLB, MMA, UFC, fantasy football, and so much more. GSMC Sports Network has shows running all day long, with new sports shows starting every 2 hours. Just like on your favorite cable sports channel, except GSMC Sports Network is absolutely free. Just search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube to catch one of your new favorite shows, like the GSMC College Football Podcast, Chip Shot Football Podcast, Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, GSMC Basketball Podcast, and so many more. Check it out for yourself. GSMC Sports Network, now available on YouTube absolutely free. Search GSMC Sports Network on YouTube right now.
Welcome back to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the New York City Grand Prix competition this weekend, and now with the Olympics coming up, we're going to be talking about the top female swimmers. Swimming, I feel like, is a huge event to watch in the Olympics, and I feel like swimming gets a lot of attention, or that just honestly might be me, because I grew up living with my sister who was a competitive swimmer, so of course we were always watching swimming on the Olympics. But regardless, everyone should watch swimming because it's so incredibly insane how fast these athletes can move in the water. I'm not going to say that I ever did competitive swimming, but I have done I don't even know how to explain it. Not very little competitive swimming. I lasted a week because the water was cold, okay? Yes, I'm that weak, okay? But let me just say, I think it's insane how fast these swimmers are, and I don't think that's humanly possible how fast you can move in the water that quickly. Anyway, so we're gonna get started talking about this. Obviously, I gotta start by talking about the 3 best swimmers in the world right now. Katie Ledecky, Kate Douglas, and Regan Smith combined to lead the 2024 U.S. Women's Swimming Rankings and 11 of the 14 individual events on the Olympic pool program going into the trials. The trials will be held on June 15th to the 23rd at the Indianapolis Lucas Oil Stadium, so they are coming up very quickly. It is expected that the top 2 in each event will make the team for Paris individually. If they don't, I will literally be throwing so many complaints. Everybody will hopefully swim their fastest at the trials, but the in-season rankings to this point are a good indicator as to how some people end up in their seed. Ledecky has been the fastest American in the 200 meter, 400 meter, 800 meter, and 1500 meter freestyles every year dating to 2014, except for the 1500 meter free in 2016, a year she didn't race that distance. Her closest challengers have traditionally been in the 200 meter free. At last June's Nationals, Claire Weinstein became the first American to beat Ledecky in the 200 meter free final in 9 years. Ledecky also dropped the individual 200 meter free from her program at Worlds the last 2 years, despite making the team for the event. She hasn't announced her intentions for the summer, so it's possible she swims it at trials strictly to show she's deserving of a place on the Olympic 4x200 meter free relay. Douglas made her Olympic debut in Tokyo at age 19 and won event, taking bronze in the 200 meter individual medley, or IM. I'm going to be referring to the individual medley probably as the IM in the rest of the segment, so I just want to clarify that. Anyway, this year, Douglas is the top-ranked American woman in 4 events, the 50 meter and 100 meter frees, the 200 meter breaststroke, and the 200 meter IM, but might not swim all of them at trials due to the crowded schedule. Douglas has become arguably the world's most versatile swimmer. In January, she broke the American record in the 200 meter breast, and in February, she broke the American record in the 50 meter free. Regan Smith is the American record holder in the 100 meter and 200 meter backstrokes and the 200 meter butterfly. In her Olympic debut in Tokyo, she won 200 meter fly silver and 100 meter back bronze. I'm so sorry if you guys just heard the doorbell ring and now my dog is like barking her head off because doorbells. She's protecting us. We've never had a bunny attack us, but you know what? That's because she's protecting us, if you think about it. Also, she ate a frog yesterday. Little fun story. It was the most terrifying thing I've ever seen, her eating a frog. Anyway, the dominance of Ledecky, Douglas, and Smith leaves 3 events with different U.S. leaders in 2024. 2016 Olympic gold medalist Elaine King in the 100 meter breast, 2022 world champion Tori Husk in the 100 meter fly, and 2-time world silver medalist Katie Grimes in the 400 meter IM. In all, the American record holder in 11 of the 14 events is expected to enter trials. So let's dive into all the times and rankings of everyone in each event. Okay, starting with the 50 meter free. Kate Douglas leads in first at 23.91 seconds, followed by Abby Wetzel at 24.27 seconds. Gretchen Walsh at 24.29 seconds, Tori Husk at 24.31 seconds, and Simone Manuel at 24.34 seconds. This is going to be a very close and interesting race to watch at the trials. In the 100 meter freestyle, Douglas leads again at 52.98 seconds, followed by Tori Husk at 53.08 seconds, Simone Manuel at 53.10 seconds, Gretchen Walsh at 53.17 seconds, and Abby Wetzel at 53.56 seconds. In the 200 meter freestyle, Katie Ledecky is in first at 1 minute and 54.97 seconds, followed by Anna Poplawski at 1 minute and 56.99 seconds, Paige Madden at 1 minute and 57 seconds, Simone Manuel at 1 minute and 57.03 seconds, and Regan Smith at 1 minute and 57.23 seconds. Before I continue, just wanted to clarify, these times are their personal best. It does not mean that they were racing at the same exact competition, the same exact time to achieve these times. This is just like taking everybody that is competing in the trials and ranking them from the fastest time, slowest times. You get the point. So I just wanted to clarify that this is not from like the same competition or something. This is genuinely like just people's best times and how they're doing and how, like, who's the fastest in the top 5. Just wanted to clarify that. Okay, so in the 400 meter freestyle, Katie Ledecky obviously leads that at 3 minutes and 59.44 seconds, followed by Paige Madden at 4 minutes and 3.02 seconds, Claire Weinstein at 4 minutes and 4.54 seconds, Taylor Hinshaw at 4 minutes and 6.99 seconds, and Jillian Cox at 4 minutes and 7.61 seconds. In the 800 meter freestyle, Katie Ledecky is in first, obviously, at 8 minutes and 12.95 seconds, followed by Katie Grimes at 8 minutes and 21.51 seconds, Claire Weinstein at 8 minutes and 23.73 seconds, Paige Madden at 8 minutes and 27.64 seconds, and Jillian Cox at 8 minutes and 27.95 seconds. Lastly, for the freestyle is the 1500 meter freestyle, and Katie Ledecky leads in first at 15 minutes and 38.25 seconds. And then we have Katie Grimes at 15 minutes and 57.31 seconds. Paige Madden at 60 minutes and 9.93 seconds. Kate Hurst at 60 minutes and 17.83 seconds. And Aurora Braghar at 60 minutes and 19.79 seconds. My sister was a long distance swimmer. So this was one of her events that she would run. She would also swim. Wow. She would also swim like the 5,000 meter one. I'm like, I think that's insane. I don't know how she did it. But basically, where I'm going with this is that we've always have kept up with the longer distance freestyles events because that's what we were always talking about in the house. And Katie Ledecky, I swear, she's just always going to be there. Like, she's always going to be the first person to be there. If you look at her times, you can see how dang far ahead she is of everyone else. Like, she's just always going to be first in the 1500 meter free. I don't know. That's just all I'm saying. For the longest time, I just feel like all we talk about is Katie Ledecky because she's the best swimmer. Anyway, moving on to the other strokes. Starting with backstroke, 100 meter backstroke, Regan Smith is in first at 57.51 seconds, and then is Claire Curzon at 58.29 seconds, Catherine Burncock at 58.77 seconds, Ryan White at 59.20 seconds, and Isabel Staden at 59.22 seconds. For the 200 meter backstroke, Regan Smith leads at 2 minutes and 3.99 seconds. In second is Claire Curzon at 2 minutes and 5.77 seconds, and third is Phoebe Bacon at 2 minutes and 7.24 seconds, and fourth is Ryan Wyatt at 2 minutes and 7.38 seconds, and in fifth is Isabel Staden at 2 minutes and 8.42 seconds. For the breaststroke, you have to remember that this stroke just takes longer, so the times do seem a bit longer, but that's just how it is, the stroke. Lily King leads in the 100 meter breaststroke at 1 minute and 5.67 seconds, and then in second is Lydia Jacoby at 1 minute and 5.74 seconds, and third is Douglas at 1 minute and 6.36 seconds, and fourth is Emma Weber at 1 minute and 6.50 seconds, and then fifth is Caitlin Dobler at 1 minute and 6.71 seconds. For the 200 meter breaststroke, Douglas is in first at 2 minutes and 19.30 seconds, followed by Alex Walsh at 2 minutes and 22.87 seconds, Lily King at 2 minutes and 23.27 seconds, Ella Nelson at 2 minutes and 24.07 seconds, and Isabel Uggers at 2 minutes and 26.59 seconds. We have two more things to get through, the butterfly and the IMs. For the 100 meter butterfly, Tori Husk is in first at 55.68 seconds, followed by Gretchen Walsh at 56.14 seconds, Regan Smith at 56.26 seconds, Claire Curzon at 56.61 seconds, and Alice Shackhill at 57.22 seconds. I really love the butterfly because, at least, I don't know, that seems like one of the hardest strokes, but also, I feel like you gotta let a lot of different competition in here, like Alice Shackhill you don't hear about, or Rachel Klinker you don't talk about either, Dakota Luther, all of them, like you don't hear about them much until the butterfly. So they're really leading with that, and it's really cool to watch the butterfly because you have definitely like a lot of new competition. Okay, so for the 200 meter butterfly, Regan Smith is up first at 2 minutes and 4.80 seconds, and second is Alex Shackhill at 2 minutes and 7.17 seconds, and third is Rachel Klinker at 2 minutes and 7.70 seconds, and fourth is Dakota Luther at 2 minutes and 7.81 seconds, and then fifth is Emma Sticklin at 2 minutes and 8.57 seconds. Lastly, for the individual leads, in first at the 200 meter IM is Douglas, obviously at 2 minutes. Oh my goodness. Did y'all see that? That was crazy. Oh no, oh my goodness. Okay. Guys, I'm so sorry about those technical difficulties there. That was crazy. Okay, moving on. In first at the 200 meter IM is Douglas at 2 minutes and 7.05 seconds, followed by Alex Walsh at 2 minutes and 7.63 seconds, Tori Husk at 2 minutes and 8.47 seconds, Regan Smith at 2 minutes and 9.05 seconds, and Leah Hayes at 2 minutes and 10.62 seconds. Lastly, for the 400 meter IM, Katie Grimes leads at 4 minutes. And I'm sorry, the title is supposed to say 400 meters. It says 200 meters. Ignore that. She leads at 4 minutes and 32.45 seconds, followed by Emma Wyatt at 4 minutes and 39 seconds, Leah Hayes at 4 minutes and 39.36 seconds, Lucy Bell at 4 minutes and 41.64 seconds, and Lila Bognar at 4 minutes and 43.21 seconds. Before we move on to the next segment, I wanted to mention one person here, Ariarne Titmus, who swam the second fastest 400 meter freestyle in history to open Australia's trials for the Olympics. Here is a picture of her. She clocked 3 minutes and 55.44 seconds, missing her world record by 600ths in Brisbane. She was 39 hundredths under her world record pace at 350 meters. Titmus, the reigning Olympic and world champion in the 400 meter freestyle, now owns 5 of the top 7 times in history. In March 2023, then 16-year-old Canadian Sarah McIntosh took the world record from Titmus. 4 months later, Titmus took it back at the World Championships. Katie Ledecky, the Rio Olympic gold medalist in the event, held the world record from 2016 until Titmus broke it for the first time in 2022. Also Monday, Caleb McCowan won the 200-meter individual medley in 2 minutes and 6.63 seconds to become the 3rd fastest performer in history in that event. The only fastest swimmers in history are Hungarian Katinka Hosszú and American Ariana Kukers. McCowan swam the world's best time in nearly 8 years in an event where American Kate Douglas is the 2-time reigning world champion. McKeon is the reigning Olympic and world champion and world record holder in the 100-meter and 200-meter backstrokes. And the 200-meter IM, she took silver at the 2022 Worlds and then was disqualified at her semifinal at the 2023 Worlds for an illegal turn. So I just wanted to bring attention to that. There's so many great swimmers in the U.S., but we also have to consider the amazing swimmers in the other countries. It's going to be close competition, I'll be honest, at the Olympics. And the Olympic trials for the U.S. is going to be very interesting, so make sure you stay updated with that. I'll definitely be updating y'all on that starting the June 15th. So we're now going to move on to the next segment where we're going to discuss the standout players from the Women's College World Series. Before we begin, we're going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys all very soon.
For the best and latest podcasts available anywhere, go to the podcast app on your cell phone and type in GSMC to access free content-rich podcasts on health and wellness, book reviews, sports, entertainment, relationships, social media, movies, technology, finance, and even weird news. Subscribe and download the GSMC Podcast Network's family of shows, available everywhere podcasts are found.
Welcome back, everybody, to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the top female swimmers heading into the Olympic trials, and now we're going to be talking about the standout players from the Women's College World Series. So the World Series has unfortunately ended. It was so exciting. University of Oklahoma won. So we're going to go over the standout players from all 8 of the teams. I actually think that I only included, there's 10 total, but not all of them are from the 8 teams. But you get the point. So, by the way, there's no particular order in how I went about this. I just kind of had like a bunch of standout players that I put in a list, and I was like, let's go talk about them. So not in a particular order here, just keeping that in mind. This is not like in first place. No, like just all of these are standout players. Okay, so we first need to talk about Kelly Maxwell, though, because she is the most outstanding player. She earned that award. So she transferred from in-state rival Oklahoma State to University of Oklahoma prior to the 2024 season and then closed out the Sooners' 4th straight title in relief. Maxwell earned 4 wins in addition to a save in the championship clincher over 5 World Series appearances. She earned the Most Outstanding Player award in the World Series this year, and she received a lot of criticism for switching to her rival team, but she said it paid off after receiving this award. In her lone season with the Sooners, Maxwell helped them dominate all season, finishing with a 23-2 record. This season, she struck out 164 batters in 155.1 innings with a 1.94 ERA. Before the transfer, Maxwell was a superstar at OSU for 4 seasons. Making the All-Big 12 first team 3 times, Maxwell was a dominant pitcher for the Cowgirls. In 2022, Maxwell earned numerous first-team All-America honors while finishing as a top 10 finalist for Collegiate Player of the Year. As Big 12 co-pitcher of the year, she pitched 189.2 innings with a 1.57 ERA and struck out 313 batters. In her final season at OSU, she had a slight drop from her junior season, but still led the Cowgirls to the World Series. Although it burns for OSU to see a former player win it all with OU, Maxwell's time in Stillwater helped her become the national champion she is today. And you always have to go back to your roots on that. Next, we have Jocelyn Erickson. She transferred from OU to the University of Florida, so there was some tension and motivation there. She's a very, very tough catcher, and during the elimination game against Alabama, she went 2 for 3 with 4 RBIs, blasting a 3-run home run in the 6th inning, lifting Florida to a 6-4 victory. And then for Florida v. Oklahoma, Florida won 9-3, and a huge reason for that was Erickson's blasted 2-run home run in the top of the 1st inning to give the Gators an early 2-0 lead. Let's talk about the iconic Tari Jennings. During the series, Jennings hit .321, contributing significantly with 2 home runs, 3 doubles, and 8 RBIs. Notably, she hit a home run and a double in a standout game against James Madison, driving in 2 runs. Additionally, she delivered a game-winning double in a crucial match against Stanford, securing Oklahoma's advancement to the finals. Her consistent performance throughout the series was a key factor in her team's success. Her batting stance is very interesting and unique, I'll say. While a 2-hand split grip is pretty common, especially to have some top hand control of the bat through the zone, Jennings' low hand positioning below her shoulders is definitely more unique. It's meant to help her with her launch angle and her swing, which is definitely evident in her home run tendency, and it's been successful. Oklahoma coach Oklahoma coach Patty Gasso said about Jennings, when she comes up, you know something good is going to happen, especially on these big stages. So this was technically not Jennings' best season, but regardless, her skills are so powerful and dominating that she really was a standout player despite not having her best season. She is a Texas power hitter for sure. And then Tegan Cavan's contributions to the Texas Longhorn success in the World Series are remarkable. Not only did she pitch a 1-hitter against Stanford, but she repeated this exceptional performance for the 2nd time during the tournament, underlining her consistency and skill in high-pressure situations. Her outstanding achievements on the mound were crucial in leading the Longhorns to a 1-0 victory over Stanford, which secured their place in the championship series. She allowed only 1 hit. That's insane. This victory was significant as it brought Texas closer to potentially winning their first national championship. They didn't end up winning. They were 2nd in the World Series, which is still amazing. It makes me sad. We don't need to get into it. I would literally start crying again. But Tegan Cavan really stood out to me. And she's one of the younger players. I'm pretty sure she's a freshman. And that's just so insane. So Texas is very lucky to have her for a lot longer if she does not transfer. Najari Kennedy. Oh my goodness. I love her. I think she is definitely one of the best pitchers in the league. And obviously a standout pitcher in the World Series. She played a crucial role for Stanford, leading them deep into the tournament. Notably, Kennedy pitched a complete game shutout against Washington, which advanced Stanford to the semifinals. Throughout the series, she maintained a stellar level of play, evidenced by her earning a spot on the World Series All-Tournament team. Her performance included striking out 8 batters and allowed just 4 hits in a critical game against UCLA, helping Stanford to stay alive in the elimination bracket. After being named the National Player of the Year, Stanford pitcher Najari Kennedy has reeled in yet another individual accolade as she was named to the Women's College World Series All-Tournament team. Like I said, Candy was the only Stanford player honored, as finalists Oklahoma and Texas were heavily represented, as was SEC Power Florida. It seemed that whenever Stanford needed a shutout or big elimination game performance to stay alive or advance, Kennedy was there to do it, and the voters for this honor took notice. Unsurprisingly, Kennedy was joined by Texas ace Taken Kavan, whom she dueled in Stanford final game, a 1-0 loss. Kennedy has just wrapped up her sophomore season, so she'll certainly be back in the hunt for all of these awards the next year with an eye on the World Series title for Stanford. Jada Coleman, she made a game-changing diving catch against Duke that prevented multiple runs, significantly impacting the game's outcome. Additionally, Coleman was impressive at the plate, finishing 2 for 4 with a double, scoring 2 runs and stealing a base. Her efforts in the outfield and as a batter were crucial in leading Oklahoma to a 9-1 victory over Duke and maintaining their competitive edge throughout the series. Coleman was considered the hero of the World Series semifinals for her team with her hits. She was a huge threat to Texas, as she was one of the 8 Sooners selected to the All-Big 12 first team and has that perfect ability of getting on base while also producing with power as well. Reese Atwood had an outstanding performance during the Women's College World Series. As a top-seeded player for Texas, she was recognized for her impressive statistics throughout the season, leading the Big 12 with 88 RBIs and ranking nationally in several categories, including home runs and slugging percentage. During the championship series against Oklahoma, Reese played a crucial role for Texas, although the team ultimately did not win the title. Her efforts throughout the season earned her a spot as one of the 3 finalists for the U.S.A Softball Collegiate Player of the Year. Outside of just the World Series, she's been one of the top hitters in college softball this season with a .429 batting average, a .502 on base percentage, and a .88 slugging percentage. She won Big 12 Player of the Year honors and was one of the 3 finalists for U.S.A Softball's Collegiate Player of the Year award. Sydney Sanders had some standout moments during the World Series, particularly in helping Oklahoma advance past Florida State. She was notable for making a remarkable defensive play where she made a nearly impossible catch in foul territory in front of the FSU dugout. This play was part of a game that demonstrated Oklahoma's strong defensive capabilities, contributing to their victory and advancement in the tournament. Michaela Edenfield, she demonstrated her power hitting by recording home runs against Oklahoma State and Tennessee. Also, she managed to secure a hit in 4 of the 5 games played in Oklahoma City, earning a spot on the World Series All-Tournament team. Her performance was a significant factor in FSU's deep run in the series. Lastly, I have Alyssa Washington. She played obviously a crucial role for Texas's advancement to the finals. Washington was notably involved in a decisive play against Stanford, where she scored the only run of the game in a tight 1-0 victory for Texas. This pivotal moment was significant as it showcased her agility and critical role in pressure situations, helping Texas advance to the championship series. While her legs may have been the story of the game, the senior has had a career year at the plate, hitting for .344, .422, and .3634. The Longhorns captain isn't the premier hitting on the team filled with top talent, but as seen in the World Series semifinals, Washington basically did whatever it would take to win the game despite the loss for Texas in the final game. So we're now going to move on to the next segment where we're going to talk about the best outfits from the WNBA players before their games. It's a special segment, so I suggest staying around. Before we begin, we are going to be taking a very short break, so I will see you guys all very soon. Hello guys, welcome back to the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. We just got done talking about the standout players from the Women's College World Series, and now we have a very special segment. So this last, final segment of the day, we are going to be doing something a bit different. We're ending the show today by talking about some of the best WNBA pregame outfits in this past month, in my opinion. While I love talking about sports, I also love talking about clothes, hair, makeup, literally anything fashion and cosmetics. So we're doing a special segment talking about fashion, and it's why it's relative to WNBA. We'll get to that in the end, but right now we're going to be starting talking about some of the best fashion. And I think the WNBA has some of the best fashion in all of sports, and I'm impressed by how beautiful these players look all the time. The players have left no color, pattern, fabric, or boot variety untouched. Cameron Brink, I think, is ahead of the class with all of her fantastic outfits. So here are some of the most fabulous WNBA pregame outfits. Back in April, Clark took the red carpet dress in a head-to-toe Prada outfit. Let me pull up the picture, guys, because you can't talk about outfits without pictures sometimes. Although people on this podcast, I am so sorry. I will be doing my best descriptively. Okay, so she went head-to-toe with a Prada ensemble with details including a white double satin skirt and shirt, and an embroidered rhinestone mesh top, black leather slingback pumps, a back handbag, and sunglasses. This was a big moment for the brand Prada because it was the first time the brand had dressed a player for either the WNBA or NBA draft. So it was a huge moment for them. Clark's stylist, Adri Segurdia, told the Daily Beast, "It was almost too perfect the way Caitlin and Prada aligned so well, both being at the forefront of what they do. Fashion provides an exciting way to add to the conversation surrounding these WNBA players, already inspiring stories. I think it's fantastic that these women are getting the representation and recognition they deserve." It's a new era in the WNBA where off the court their players are looking ready to sit front row at Fashion Week. The secret weapon to these stylish and sporty movements is, of course, their stylists. On top of that, luxury brands have taken a particular interest in the WNBA over the past several years, helping stylists completely transform the image of these young women. Sydney Bordarnaro, a former college basketball player turned fashion stylist, has dressed WNBA players including Derica Hamby, Dana Evans, and Kelsey Plum. According to her, she said the fashion industry's interest in WNBA players sparked post-COVID lockdown. She said, "Fashion and basketball have always had a relationship. Just look at sneaker partnerships going back to the 90s and even earlier. What's causing fashion surge and interest with these WNBA players is social media. Look at the Instagram accounts dedicated to athletes doing their tunnel walks, and everyone wants to know what these players are getting their fits and who they are wearing. With brands doing more of their marketing nowadays through influencers and people with high social media followings, the interest in WNBA players just makes sense." And then she also said that one of the big advantages brands have with dressing WNBA players is the amount of opportunities they have to be photographed. She said if you're dressing an actress or actor, they'll need looks for however many weeks their press tour's in, and then they're done. And WNBA players have 36 regular season games, which means if a brand wants to dress a WNBA player, that's 36 chances they had to be photographed and get an athlete in their clothes. At the end of the day, these brands are trying to make money, and this is great marketing. I agree with that. This is literally great marketing for brands. The next outfit I gotta mention is Asia Wilson before her game against Puerto Rico national team on May 11th at the Colonial Life Arena in South Carolina. Okay. She appeared in the tunnel wearing a short black skirt and a crop sweatshirt reading, "Of course, I have a shoe.com. The spelled out URL directed to Nike's website in their announcement. This was a huge mic drop announcement to show that she created a shoe with Nike and has a collaboration with them now. This was so freaking iconic. While this outfit is so amazing and beautiful and stylish and chic, it's also like iconic with the fact that this is how she announced her like shoe brand drop. Like, that's insane. Next, Kelsey Plum at the season opener, where she wore a head-to-toe black leather Alexander Wang ensemble featuring a cropped waistcoat with no bra and leather pants. Then it got the internet talking. She really rocked the outfit. It was a mix of flattering and chic, but also very much her with the pants and leather design. It just fit her as a player in person, I felt like. I loved it. Also, an amazing outfit that went viral was Nika Mule, where she wore an oversized blazer over a sports bra, revealing her belly ring and accessorizing with a hat and sunglasses. It was simple and classy, and I loved the pants. The outfit was the perfect clash with an oversized, classy professional blazer and then loose, chic jeans. I have to mention one of my favorite Cameron Brink outfits, of course, because I think she has the best outfits by far out of all the rookies and most of the WNBA players. Her stylist, Mary Gonzalez-Kenny, has been crushing it recently. As a longtime stylist, she's formed a relationship with notable luxury brands ranging from Balmain to Dior. When it came time to select options for the WNBA draft, Kenny had 10 different brands on option, hoping Brink would wear their designs. In the end, she selected a stunning black and white Balmain dress for April 15th. The asymmetrical dress features a thigh-high slit, a little cutout, and a rosette applique, however you say that word, on the shoulder. It's got like a little rose thing on the shoulder. The athlete added on black pumps draped with chains, complementing her ensemble with angled earrings and layered bracelets. She wore her hair straightened while her makeup consisted of metallic eyeshadow, winged eyeliner, and glossy lip. And then Angel Reese's draft outfit was absolutely remarkable and stunning. Reese wore a look from the brand's fall 2024 collection, the Amalia gown. The statement maker featured a cowl neck, open back, and dramatic train. Reese amped up the drama of her look with 3D embellished floral nails by celebrity manicurist Angie Anguer, who works with Janelle Monáe and Sha'Carri Richardson. She also accessorized with a sparkling mouth grill. Second to last outfit I wanted to mention was Asia Wilson's Pop It Classy red from the brand Alley. The top and skirt cinched her waist perfectly, and she combined the fit with a pair of red pumps and sunglasses. This was like, hands down, probably like, no, I can't even say the best because there's so many amazing outfits, but this is definitely like, I don't know, like, can I borrow the outfit from her is the question, basically. The last outfit I want to show you was not just one outfit, but just a bunch that had a lot of pop of color, design, or a little something that made them pop out even more to me. So just like little big show of these outfits. Okay, so the picture on the left, Cameron Brink is wearing a unique and stylish outfit. Her attire includes a sleeveless olive green leather top featuring a lace-up detail at the chest, which gives it a fashionable edge. She pairs this with matching shorts that also have a laced-up design at the sides and are adorned with several pockets and metallic rings. This ensemble is accessorized with a simple black choker, a black handbag with a prominent logo, and black heels with straps. Her long blonde hair is styled in loose waves, enhancing the overall trendy and chic appearance. She really needs to model. Like, she's literally perfect. To the right, a Brink is Enrique Agumbawale wearing a loose-fitting short-sleeved black button-up shirt paired with striking red and white geometric pattern pants. The pattern on the pants adds a vibrant and eye-catching element to her look. Accessorizing her outfit, she is chosen a black baseball cap, and with, I'm pretty sure the words say, a wake written in bold, along with a stylish pair of sunglasses, which gives a cool and casual vibe. And then she completes her ensemble with white sneakers that match well with the overall casual and fashionable theme of her attire. And it's complemented by her long flowing hair and a confident stance, making the look not only stylish but also empowering. And I feel like it's very much her. Next to her to the right is one of DeJohnny Carrington's most popular outfits. She is dressed in a stylish and sophisticated ensemble in this picture. She's wearing a fitted black blazer dress that features a double-breasted button design, adding a classic yet modern touch to her look. The dress is short, highlighting her toned legs, and is accessorized with a large, fashionable belt that cinches at the waist for added shape. She has paired the dress with eye-catching white knee-high boots that lace up at the front, giving a bold and trendy vibe. These boots are adorned with black accents and metallic embellishments, which complement the overall monochromatic theme. Lastly, on the far right is Brianna Stewart wearing a stylish tailored pinstripe suit. The suit features a structured button-down jacket paired with matching trousers, both adorned with vertical stripes that create a sleek and elongating effect. This choice of attire exudes a professional yet fashion-forward vibe. She complements the suit with a pair of brown suede shoes that add a touch of warmth to the otherwise monochromatic outfit. So you might be wondering, like, why am I talking about WNBA players' outfits? Well, fashion is a lot more important than you think in the whole increasing the popularity of the WNBA thing. It is so important. You would be shocked how important it is. Tasha Hartzog, a stylist who dressed for Kia Jackson for the 2024 WNBA draft, said WNBA players are now more at the forefront of the public eye thanks to social media. Back in the day before social media, nobody was paying as much attention to what athletes are wearing. Now all eyes are on everything athletes do, especially their wardrobe choices. There are entire Instagram accounts just dedicated to athletes' look, and some of these pages have tens of thousands of followers. She also said that the growing interest in the WNBA's relations with fashion is also in part due to women's sports pushing to get as much representation as men's. She said, "I love this new push for women's sports representation. There's been so much discussion around the pay disparity between male and female athletes, and fashion is helping these women catch up to their male counterparts in terms of income with major brand deals that just weren't happening on this level before. There's a huge shift happening as these players become more popular. We'll see more popular brands want to work with them." So just like that, earlier this month, Skims, the official WNBA underwear partner, released a groundbreaking campaign starring all WNBA stars, including WNBA legend Candace Parker. In a statement, Skims founder Kim Kardashian said, "I'm proud to launch the new WNBA campaign starring such an incredible cast of athletes. Championing women and women in sports is incredibly important to Skims." Okay, although my opinions of Kim Kardashian are, well, not very great, the fact that a huge influencer is speaking about WNBA's fashion does help increase the popularity of the sport and the players. So, like, I don't know, think about people who are super into the Kardashians, like keeping up with the Kardashians. I don't know, but what if, I mean, I love reality TV and I love sports at the same time, so I'm not a good example, but I don't know. A lot of the audience that watch sports might not watch reality TV. I don't really know the demographics there and stuff and the statistics, but it's helping increase people from different genres, what they like to watch, into other areas. Like if you're someone who likes to Keep Up with the Kardashians or whatever the reality TV show is that, then maybe you're more interested in watching sports because of the WNBA partnership. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but basically what I'm saying is all the influencer talk, all the brand sponsorships, deals, partnerships, all of that, it helps increase interest in the WNBA, and it helps increase interest in people who aren't that big sports people and who want to watch sports because their favorite sports people are wearing their favorite brands, things like that. So while I'm going to close up this segment by saying one thing. Okay, while I did want to talk about outfits because I love fashion, I also wanted to mention how fashion has helped the WNBA gain more popularity. And although this seems kind of random at some points, it's not, I promise. It's actually insane when you think about how little certain genres, elements, and things actually are helping increase the WNBA popularity. And it's not just basketball that's helping that. It's other things too, like fashion. And you have to consider all those elements because it is super interesting to focus on. So that concludes our show for today. Thank you guys for tuning into the GSMC Hoops and Heels Women's Sports Podcast, presented to you by the GSMC Sports Network. Your support means a lot to us, so please remember to subscribe to the show and leave a positive review. It really does make a difference. We also invite you to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram for more content and updates. Thank you guys once again, and have a wonderful day.
Let's go. I wake up to a little bit of drool.